Good afternoon. My name's Joan Gable. For those of you I don't know, it is my privilege to serve as the Dean of the Robert J. Trulaske Senior College of Business. Welcome to our college's December 2011 graduation convocation. We're delighted that you're here today for what we know is one of the happiest days in the lives of our students sitting before us. It's an incredible accomplishment to be where you are now, and I applaud you for your perseverance and success. So let's begin by congratulating our soon-to-be graduates with a round of applause. The faculty and my colleagues and I are very proud of you, and we're really honored to be with you and your families to celebrate in your achievement. When the graduates walk across the stage, applause and cheering are permitted and encouraged, so let's start our celebration. If you're not standing, please rise and remove your headwear. It's my pleasure to introduce Jaleesa Owens, who will sing the national anthem. Jaleesa, who's from Kansas City, is graduating with an area of emphasis in marketing. She's been actively involved in the Trulaske College of Business with Pi Sigma Epsilon Professional Sales and Marketing Fraternity. She's a member of the Golden Key International Honor Society, the American Marketing Association, and Legion of Black Collegians Black Student Government. Please join me in welcoming Jaleesa Owens.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Now it's my pleasure to introduce my esteemed colleagues on the stage with me today. I'll start with the faculty. Please hold your applause because there are several people I'd like you to meet. Platform party, as I call your name, please stand and remain standing. I'll start with Sandra Cruz, Assistant Professor of Management, who earned her PhD at the University of Missouri St. Louis. Sandy, who teaches business communication and business ethics, joined the college's faculty in August of 2005. Lisa Shear is the Hibbs Distinguished Professor of Marketing. She's also an alumna of MU who earned her PhD from Northwestern University. In April 2008, she received an Alumni Citation of Merit from our college. Michael O'Doherty, Assistant Professor of Finance, earned his PhD from the University of Iowa and just joined our college's faculty this fall. Phyllis Moore is the director of the 150-hour accountancy program, and she's worked at MU since 1990. She was appointed program director in August 2008. An award-winning advisor, Phyllis was just selected as a recipient of MU's 2011 Excellence in Education Award. Roddy Ratneshwar is in his 9th year as Department of Marketing Chair. He earned his PhD at Vanderbilt University and teaches courses in branding and marketing management. He holds the World Book Chair of Marketing. Jung Ha Lim, Assistant Professor of Finance, earned her PhD from Ohio State University. She joined our college's faculty in August 2011 and teaches both undergraduate and graduate courses. Doug Moselle, an Associate Professor of Management who came to MU in 1997, teaches strategy and entrepreneurship. He serves as faculty advisor for Phi Beta Lambda and has earned the college's Outstanding Faculty Service Award. Dan French is in his 9th year as chair of the Department of Finance. He earned his PhD at Louisiana Tech University and is currently teaching courses on real estate investment trusts. Wayne Keene is an assistant professor of marketing, and he joined our college's faculty in 2009. He teaches marketing and sales and directs our sales program. Dan Turbin, the Furbacher Professor of Organizational Change, serves as chair of the Department of Management. He was selected as MU's winner of the Governor's Award for Teaching Excellence in 2006. Lisa Peterson is our student speaker, and I'll tell you a little more about her just a few minutes from now. Mary Beth Mars is our college's Dean for Undergraduate Programs and Strategic Initiatives. She is a 3-time MU alum. In 2009, MU's Chancellor presented her with the very prestigious Kemper Fellowship for Teaching Excellence, and in fall 2010, she received the Faculty Alumni Award. And Greg Garrison is our guest convocation speaker. I'll give you a little more information about him in a few minutes as well. And last but not least, Jaliza Owens, who you've met and heard. Please join me in applauding my colleagues and welcoming our special guests. Thank you. I also want to take just a minute to express appreciation to Dr. Mars, Paulette Thurston, and the staff of our undergraduate advising office for arranging our convocation. Special thanks, of course, to Jaliza Owens and to the voice of our convocation, Wayne Keene. Let's give them a round of applause, please, as well. Now it's my privilege to introduce our alumni speaker, Mr. Greg Garrison. Mr. Garrison is Vice Chairman, Clients and Markets at PricewaterhouseCoopers in New York City. As Vice Chairman, Greg leads the firm's U.S. business units and serves as a senior relationship partner to a number of large and complex clients to ensure that audit committees receive assistance to address their business needs. For 30 years, Greg has provided audit, accounting, and business advisory services to a diverse group of clients, including a number of Fortune 500 companies. He has responsibility for the Financial Products Division, Building Construction Products Division, Legal Services Division, Global Finance and Strategic Support Division, and Systems and Processes Division. Greg received his BA degree in accounting from MU. I'm very pleased also to mention that Mr. Garrison is a member of our college's National Advisory Group, the Strategic Development Board, upon which he provides incredibly helpful advice that helps us make sure that your students get the best possible education. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Greg Garrison.
Thank you, Dean Gable, distinguished faculty and guests, proud parents, and most importantly, the class of 2011. As a graduate of Missouri's class of 1976, I am honored, humbled, and maybe a little bit surprised to be asked to speak to you today. If I understand it right, Dean Gable extended me the invitation immediately upon learning that Claire McCaskill, John Hamm, Sheryl Crow, and Blaine Gabbert were all unavailable. So, instead of a movie star, a rock star, a U.S. senator, an NFL football star, you got the CPA. So that leaves me with a question for all of you. Aren't you excited? Once I realized that the invite was for real, however, I started thinking about our shared experiences here at the University of Missouri. And I came to realize that over the last 35 years, some things had changed. You have iPads, we had pencils and paper. You did digitally download your music, and we played vinyl. Everywhere you go, including today probably, you carry smartphones with cameras, and we use payphones with, thank goodness, no cameras. Which explains, by the way, why you can't find those embarrassing pictures in college of mom and dad. At the same time, however, I was happy to see not everything changes. In fact, Harpos and Booches still look very much like they did when I was on campus long ago. And yes, like you, I'm sure, I'll admit to spending a few hours in those two fine institutions of higher learning. Importantly, another thing that never changes is graduation day. Graduation day is a time of celebration with family and friends. But it's also a time of separation from places and people you've come to love. Graduation day is a time of reflection on what's been done and a time of anticipation as to what's to come. Graduation day is exciting, but at the same time, it's a little bit scary as you worry about the uncharted path that lies ahead of you. Such worries are even more pronounced in the uncertain times in which we live. Whether it's a U.S. economy that is taking longer to come out of the Great Recession than the time it took for you to graduate from Mizzou, or a U.S. and global political system that seems to have lost their way. You are graduating in challenging times. Recognizing that fact, in our short time together, I want to share with you what I believe is a simple but effective recipe for success in business and, more importantly, in life. Because as graduates, the challenge in front of you is not simply to occupy your life, but to make it a positive difference by living your life to its full potential. The recipe I'll share with you works in good time and bad. It works in bull markets, and it works in bear markets. It has worked for me since 1976, and I am confident that it will work for you too. So, without further ado, let's get back to that recipe and start cooking. The first ingredient is you and building your personal brand. There is a book on each and every one of you. You have authored that book in your time here at Mizzou, and today you are finishing a chapter. And I have dry hands. Your professors, parents, friends, and others you meet each day have read the book, and it informs their impression of you. In fact, it defines your personal brand. Tomorrow, you'll start a new chapter in that book. What will it say? As an MU and Trulaske graduate, your personal brand is built on a solid foundation. Your MU degree says, as a graduate of a top-flight business school, you're smart. As a Tiger, you're well-rounded and grounded. And coming from Missouri, you have a strong work ethic. As you begin your careers, your MU degree provides you a great start, but every one of us needs to build our personal brand each and every day. So how do you build that personal brand? You build your brand by what you deliver day in and day out, starting on day one. I think a few questions will help illustrate the point. Do you come to work each day with a positive and upbeat attitude? Are you a fast learner? Do you team well with others, and do people want to work with you? Are you someone I can trust to make good and ethical decisions? Do you have strong leadership skills? Can I count on you? Outside of work, do you lead a balanced life? Are you involved at home, and are you fun to be around? Do you have strong interest besides your career? Are you a great spouse, parent, and friend? Do you contribute to your community? Again, can I count on you? You get the picture. Your book is written, and your brand is built by your consistent actions. People are assessing your brand, and really you, every day. Invest in yourself and build your personal brand carefully and honestly, and watch for the great results. The second ingredient is to assemble your own board of directors, seeking out people who can help guide you along the way. No matter how skilled and self-confident we are, all of us can benefit from the help of people who have traveled the road we are on. The insight and assistance provided by a knowledgeable guide or mentor will inevitably accelerate your career and your personal progress. It's important to understand, however, that relationships with mentors and guides don't just happen. You need to identify the right people and invest in a relationship with them. Once that mentor relationship is built, you will receive guidance and insight that will result in significant short and long-term returns. My personal experience at PricewaterhouseCoopers is an example of what can benefit from an ongoing relationship with an engaged and effective mentor. Relatively early in my PwC career, I had the opportunity to work directly for the managing partner of our St. Louis office, John Jordan. John was a demanding but fair boss, someone who excelled at developing people and then aggressively advocating for them. When working on a complex client or practice problem, John was infamous for saying, "You know what we should do," which was code word for, "Look out, you're about to get buried under a mountain of work." Inevitably, that work was challenging, but it also helped you to build muscles you didn't know you had. And guess what? As long as you met the challenge, you kept moving on to bigger and more interesting projects, being recognized and promoted along the way. Over the years, even after I left St. Louis, I continued to consult with John, investing in our relationship and always getting great guidance and returns. The bottom line, I would not be where I am today without the guidance and assistance provided me by my mentor, John Jordan. The moral of this story is pretty clear. In any aspect of your life, don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't go it alone. Find a person, a boss, a parent, a spouse, a friend who can help you down the road they have traveled. With the help of your personal board of directors, it is sure to be a much smoother and more rewarding ride. The third and final ingredient is to never take yourself too seriously and to have fun along the way. I'm sure you've all heard the saying that you only go around once in life, so be sure to enjoy the ride. It's true. Life is not a dress rehearsal, and so you need to choose your path in such a way that you can achieve your personal and career objectives and have fun while doing it. I'm a CPA, so let's prove the point by doing a little math. Now, you need to hang with me on this one. Your average age at graduation is probably around 22. If you retire at 65, that means you'll have a 43-year-long career. Over the course of that career, you will live about 375,000 hours. Assuming you sleep 8 hours per night, certainly longer than you sleep now, you'll be awake for about 250,000 of those hours. If you work 50 hours a week, and between holidays and vacation get about 6 weeks off each year, then you'll work about 100,000 hours, or about 40% of your waking hours for the next 43 years. Gosh, I get tired about just thinking about it. So now that I have you all in a state of severe depression as you consider that workload, let me share with you the secret of how to enjoy that 43-year-long ride. It's pretty simple. Be sure that you choose a career where you love what you do. If you're passionate about what you do, you'll be excited about getting up in the morning. If you are passionate about what you do, you'll be in a great mood when you come home to your family. If you are passionate about what you do, you'll have the energy to chase your kids and to get involved in their lives. If you are passionate about what you do, you'll excel at it, and you'll enjoy the ride. Having graduated from Missouri some 35 years ago, I'm coming closer to the end of the road you will soon travel. And I'm happy to say that I have very much enjoyed the ride. I've had a rewarding career at PricewaterhouseCoopers, living and working in St. Louis, Los Angeles, and New York, and doing business around the world. I've been married for 30 years to my wonderful wife, Kathy, and we have raised 3 great kids, the youngest of which, and your parents will understand this, hopefully, will graduate in 2012. Together, we've built a tight-knit family, cried a little and laughed a lot, often at ourselves, and come to recognize that, in many respects, the journey we've been on is, in fact, the reward. There you have it, a short and simple recipe for success in business and in life. Remember these 3 things. Build your personal brand. Invest in relationships, assembling your own personal board of directors, and make sure you have fun along the way. If you remember nothing else from our time together, take these 3 thoughts with you as you travel down the road. My recipe was intended to provide you a roadmap to a successful life. In closing, let me leave you with Ralph Waldo Emerson's definition of success. It's the best one I've found. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. That is to have succeeded. Now, you've been kind enough to listen to me for about the last 10 minutes, and now I want to hear from all of you. And remember, look around, we are in Hearns Auditorium, where Norm Stewart's Tigers played some pretty exciting basketball over many, many years. I want you to be as loud today, as they were back then. And I do need your help here. I'm going to start. I'll let all of you finish, and you all know this one. Are you ready? Are we ready? M-I-Z. I always wanted to do that. I am proud to be a graduate of the University of Missouri, and I am forever a Tiger. Congratulations to the class of 2011.
Thank you, Greg. Those were excellent remarks for our students and a good roadmap for you to follow. So now it's time to recognize these students. Dean Mars, if you will please start our proceedings.
Well, I think Mr. Garrison set the tone, right? We're going to have some fun here. Are you guys ready? All right. Now, before we begin our procession today, I'd like to take just a moment to tell you how much of a privilege it's been for my faculty colleagues and staff colleagues and I to have been a part of your time here at Mizzou. It's truly been a privilege for us to be a part of your journey during your last 4 years. As a reminder of your time spent at Mizzou's Business School, we are pleased to present to each of you a keychain with an imprint of the MU Trulaske College of Business. Now let's begin. Graduates in the 150-hour accountancy program, all of whom receive both a bachelor's and a master's degree, will participate in the graduate convocation this evening. Nevertheless, we are always pleased that Phyllis Moore, director of the 150-hour and master's programs in accountancy, is here today representing the program. Now, I believe we have several students who are graduating from the dual degree international business program. Would they please come forward so that I can congratulate them?
Ryan. Ryan Janish. Thomas Larkin Klein, magna cum laude. Trevor Bond, cum laude. Casey Hyder, cum laude. Megan Lorene Batal. Laura Michelle Picarill. Danielle Nicole Frederick, cum laude. Andrea R. Hoffman, summa cum laude. Catherine Claire Charillo. Matthew Thomas Spies. Lisa Aileen Peterson, summa cum laude.
Will the students completing the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree with an emphasis in economics, finance and banking, real estate, please come forward. Dan French, Department of Finance Chair, will congratulate these soon-to-be graduates. Now, back in May, I believe, based on our applause meter, that the friends and the family members of our finance graduates were the loudest. Let's see if they can hang on to that tradition today.
Molly E. Walker, summa cum laude. Jackie Lee Rogers, Jr., cum laude. Charles Garrett Jones. Logan Robert Weisinger. Derek Shea Parker, magna cum laude. Stephen W. Griggs. Daniel Joseph Vasquez. Nicholas R. Militio. Kyle M. Gillette, magna cum laude. Nathan Matthew Baker. Trent J. Dooley, cum laude. Thomas C. Waters. Anthony J. Bess, cum laude. Brianna Suzanne Eberly, cum laude. Lauren L. Crawford, magna cum laude. Michael Richard Smith. Daniel Chase Oberlander. Adam Ross Barnard. Chelsea Lane Vernon. Stephanie Lena Wilson. Thomas G. Etchison. Michael Lester. Aaron Michael Chatham. Courtney Lee Provence, summa cum laude. Daniel John Clasby. Molly Shannon Sullivan. Jennifer Millington. Kent Douglas Miller. Michelle Nicole Curry. Johnny Q. John Oliver Welch. Rishi Ghosh. Thomas Patrick Joyce, summa cum laude. Charles Patrick Feltman. Sihan Shu, cum laude. Shinbing Zhao, cum laude. Joey K. Huyen. Gregory Allen Lindsay. Michael Andrew Cruz. James Andrew Hart, cum laude. Brad Andrew Puff. Boston S. Lovelace. Haley Shellcop. Paul D. Buxton. Matthew J. Whitehead. Hunter M. Johnson.
Will the students completing the BSBA degree with an area of emphasis in management please come forward? Daniel Turbin, Department of Management Chair, will congratulate this group of students. Now let's see if anyone can beat Mr. Best's family on cheering today. So.
Joshua L. DeGraw. Zachary Michael Otten. Hunter M. Johnson. Zachary William Nubach. Christopher D. Vonderheide. Adam Eckert. Brent Harrison Stepanek. Jonathan P. Leone. Timothy Leonard Martin. Tanya Traberman, cum laude. John Graham. Ryan W. Sheridan. Dominic Iani. Wes Kemp. Stephen K. Standish. Matthew Adams Landis. Dominic Joseph Bergfeld. Austin A. Allwell. Christopher Austin Martin.
Finally, and last but certainly not least, it's time for the students who are completing the BSBA degree with an emphasis of marketing to please come forward and be recognized. Radhi Ratneshwar, Department of Marketing Chair, will congratulate these students.
Jeffrey Allen Hendricks. Travis Andrew Haig. Dominic Catanzaro. DeAndrea Michelle Tobias. Angela Elizabeth Owens. Madison Lorraine Thompson. Garrett Michael Stevenson. Jeffrey Kyle Karp. Aaron Michael Finnegan. Anne-Marie Mundlock. Anna Catherine Ployce, summa cum laude. Gwendolyn Ann Dykeman. Brittany Ann Cleve. Robert F. Presnell. Michelle Ann Richards, cum laude. Timothy Alexander Childs. Kofi Tumbempa, cum laude. Lacey Marcia Lutz, cum laude. Clayton C. Lucas. Christopher Lawrence Goers, cum laude. Zachary Logan Graves. Douglas F. Bliss. Sarah E. Horrocks. Danielle J. Erickson. Brendan R. Donaldson. Noah Alexander Luchtemeier. Kristen Elizabeth Heinsohn. Melissa Lee Ellsworth. Kristen N. Jensen. Jaleesa D. Owens, cum laude. Alexandra Zoe Larson. John E. Ferguson. Rex Robert Oberly, cum laude. Sean Patrick Oberly. Blake B. Smith. Chad Gerard Grimminger. Michael K. Grimaud. Alyssa L. Anderson. Emily Smith. Shanshan Lee. Sean M. Scarborough. Ogasa Iyumo. Brian Lee Fowler. Julie Marie Bendicus. Ashley Renee Bell, magna cum laude.
Family, friends, and colleagues, please join me and the Trulaske College of Business faculty and staff in recognizing the academic accomplishments of these outstanding young men and women. All right, students, let's give a round of applause to all of your friends, supporters, and families. Your support was critical to these students' success and is really the key to creating the community that we treasure here at Mizzou and especially in the Trulaske College of Business. We join our students as they give you applause in their appreciation for your love, encouragement, and support. Now, at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Lisa Peterson, who's from Elgin, Illinois. Lisa will receive a BSBA degree with an area of emphasis in international business and economics. She was chosen by our college's student council to speak on behalf of the December 2011 graduating class. Lisa has been actively involved in the Delta Sigma Pi Professional Business Fraternity, Beta Gamma Sigma International Honor Society, and Phi Kappa Phi Honor Society. She has also served as a Trulaske College of Business ambassador. She will begin her career with the Huntsville Stars, a minor league baseball team in Huntsville, Alabama. Lisa, congratulations on your achievements at Mizzou, and please come forward.
All right, I have to get this stool out because I'm really short, so hold on a second. I wasn't kidding. Now, before I begin, I want to thank all of you for coming out to help us celebrate our achievements today, especially those family and friends that had to travel quite a ways to get here. I'd specifically like to thank my father for sacrificing tickets to Larry the Cable Guy Live to come and see his youngest daughter graduate. Thanks, Dad. Now it's hard for me to believe that today we're all graduating from college. My 3.5 years at Mizzou have just flown by, even though it rarely felt that way amongst the seemingly endless number of classes, meetings, and exams. I can still remember coming on my campus tour over 4 years ago, as if it was yesterday. As I walked around campus with my parents, learning about the university's traditions and values, I immediately felt comfortable. At that moment, I knew that I wanted to be a Tiger and become a part of the university's rich tradition. Since then, one of my favorite things about being at Mizzou has been the amount of support and school spirit that can be seen from the faculty, staff, students, and community as a whole. But something I've come to realize in the last few years is that college is about so much more than what we learn in the classrooms. Although I'm sure that the 4 Ps of the marketing mix, the correct way to fill out an income statement, the methods of group decision-making, and the difference between the present and future value are all extremely important and will come in handy as we start our careers. I believe that the greatest aspect of college is the journey of self-discovery. College has served as a time for all of us to learn more about the people we really are and who we hope to be in the future. We've witnessed many changes in the university and important events during our tenure at Mizzou. Some of these include College Game Day coming to Mizzou last year when we knocked Oklahoma out of first place. That's right. Mizzou's Centennial Homecoming celebrations this year, and most recently, Mizzou's announcement of a shift from the Big 12 Conference to the Southeastern Conference. However, throughout all of these changes, we've remained one Mizzou, strong and proud, showing the nation what we have to offer. Now, as I mentioned, Mizzou celebrated its Centennial Homecoming this year. As the university recognized as the creator of homecoming, this milestone of a century of coming home was one of the most amazing things I experienced at Mizzou. During the celebration, someone asked what it meant for me as a senior to be at Mizzou during this Centennial Homecoming. As I looked around and saw the impressive number of alumni coming back to campus from all over the country, it hit me that Mizzou has become so much more than just a school. It's truly become home, a place where I know I'll always be accepted and understood. Because really, where else is it normal to have a tiger tail hanging from the back of your car? Somewhere during the hours of studying at Club Ellis, or basically living in the Cornell Hall atrium, sitting in lectures, competing in business week, going to football games, hanging out with friends, going downtown, and everything else that's made up my Mizzou experience, it transformed into somewhere I couldn't live without. And although we're all going our separate ways, out into the real world, as we've always referred to it, Mizzou will always be here. The columns will continue to stand tall in the quad, and we will always be welcome. Remember to thank the people that allowed you to reach this point in your life. Your professors, advisors, family, and friends have put a great amount of effort into making sure you got here. But also don't forget the amount of hard work that you've put into reaching your goals and making it to graduation, because we all know it hasn't been easy. Now, I was raised under the premise that you could be anything you wanted to be as long as you worked hard and believed in yourself. And I want you all to take that with you. And I'll leave you with this. Dream big, always believe in yourself, and remember that no matter where you are or how long it's been since graduation, you'll always be a Tiger, and you can always come home. Thank you.
She shouldn't have put the stool away because I'm short too. Lisa, congratulations on your selection by your peers to serve as their representative. I think we can all see why she was selected for that honor. Now, before we conclude, please allow me to offer just a few brief remarks. One of the best things for me about joining the Trulaske College of Business has been to see the quality of the students that we work with. And actually, I think I speak for all of us on stage when we say we're very envious of the future that you've laid out for yourselves and the exciting journey that you're about to begin. Even though that journey can be a little intimidating, I want to assure all of you in many ways that you may not yet perceive that you're really very well trained and very well prepared to navigate this journey. You have a very strong foundation that you've built together with us during your time here at Mizzou. One of the main ways that you've prepared is by aligning yourself with a tremendous group of classmates, and you'll find that you've built a really strong lifetime network of peer mentors, friends, and supporters. I really strongly encourage you to stay connected to each other and to look to each other for guidance as you travel along this path you're entering. I also invite you, as you heard earlier, to stay connected to us here, whether your next phase is near or far, or whether you have to give up tickets to a really fabulous event to come. Remember how much you enjoyed having professional speakers in your classes, how much hearing from the insights of professionals meant to you, how much influence your internship supervisor had over you, a mentor had over you, how they advised you. Be that for the next generation of students. Many of you at different points have heard me call this the cycle of engagement, and I really think it's one of our treasures here at Mizzou. Keep us posted on where you are. Come back and share your experience with us, with fellow future students. Tell the story of your professional experience, your personal experience, or how they merge together. Join the recent Alumni Advisory Board, or join your local alumni chapter wherever you may live. That sort of involvement really helps us guide the college in the future. Your experiences are something that we rely on very heavily as we prepare future students, and we really want them to hit the ground running just like you are today. I also really want to remind you that success is a very individual thing. The most successful leaders usually credit a very personal journey that took them to where they wanted to be, and facing forks in the road with confidence, which you're fully prepared to do. Come back and tell that story. Come to homecoming, come to games, come hear the speakers that we bring in for students, come to the alumni events, because you'll progress out of your degree at a different pace with different goals, and that's to be applauded. The choices we make, the priorities we set, whether or not we have the personal balance that you heard about earlier, are very individual. So even though you're now graduates and very well educated, it's okay that there's still a lot to learn about yourself and what you want professionally and personally. I encourage you to forgive yourself if you're a little uncertain, or if you even think you choose incorrectly and have to redirect, because remember that your education doesn't stop just because you've graduated, and that's especially why we're very eager to have you come back and share your story with students who come after you. These are challenging times, as you know and as you heard, but challenges yield opportunities, and in my opinion and in my experience, the best opportunities. So a little uncertainty, a little flexibility, a little willingness to cope when it isn't going according to a plan, those are leadership skills, and they'll pay off for you in the end. So as you begin the next phase, I challenge you to hang on to the lessons you heard here, think about the speeches you heard today, and remember to be true to yourself, work hard, pay attention, present yourself well. You never know when that next opportunity is going to come along. So congratulations and our very best wishes for a very bright and successful future. And now, with the audience, please rise and join us and Jaleesa Owens in singing Old Missouri.
Old Missouri, fair Missouri, dear old varsity. Ours are hearts that fondly love thee. Here's a health to thee. Proud art thou in classic beauty of thy noble past. With thy watchwords, honor, duty, thy high fame shall last.
This has been such a nice celebration. It's one of our favorite times of the year. We have much to celebrate and cheer about, including your alma mater, Mizzou. So if Dr. Mars and Mr. Garrison will join me up here, we will continue the cheer that Mr. Garrison started. So Mr. Garrison and I will take this half, and Dr. Mars will take that half, and we'll go first. You ready? All right. M-I-Z! C-O-U! M-I-Z! C-O-U! M-I-Z! C-O-U! Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate sensibly, travel safely, congratulations, and we are adjourned.